Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wayfinder's Path. It's been a minute, but that's because, as a lot of you may know, and those of you who don't know, I just moved, so I'm finally getting set up in the new space, getting situated, and I feel like this is actually the most appropriate time to restart this channel because this is a reading for the new moon in Aries, your friendly neighborhood Aries. So this is an energy I'm really familiar with, and let me explain a little bit about the quality of time we're going through right now, and then we're going to jump into a tarot card reading for the collective, what everybody that is watching this video needs to hear. So first off, new moons are times of setting intentions. You're not going to see a visible moon in the sky right now, and these intentions are what are not only for the future of the month, this is also for the rest of the year because we did just celebrate the astrological new year on the spring equinox. Now, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It's known as the infant. It is also where we start things. It is where we take inspired action. It's where we go get things. It's where we're passionate. It's a fire sign. But, the lower vibe energy of Aries is that, it's the god of war. So there might be some extra conflict. People might be a little extra spicy. Mercury is also in Aries, so communication's really intense. And this lunation is also conjunct a couple other things, including Chiron, which is our soul's deepest wound. So if you're feeling not so inspired to start a new journey, or you want to start a new journey, but you're feeling really held back and pulled back by old problems, old wounds, that's pretty normal right now. This is just showing you where there's still room to grow, room to heal. And so don't take it to heart too much if you're not feeling your best. New moons at their best are this new, fresh start. It's that new year energy. But you may not be feeling that just because of the specific quality of time that we have going on at the moment. Now, that being said, what can you do to align right now? First off, is there a project you want to start? Do it. We're planting seeds, like I said, for an entire year right now. So this is a fairly, significant time to be doing this. It is after the full moon, the new moon, which was at 2:49 this morning. And if you're watching this a little later, check some of my other videos. There may be some that are more appropriate to you. This one is a timed reading. Now let's just jump right on in. If you're here and you're watching this, this is a collective message for you and everybody else. Take what resonates though, and you can leave the rest, because not everything is going to resonate with every single person, and I challenge you to use your intuition. All right, so first off, we have the Four of Wands reversed. Now, the Four of Wands, right off the bat, is generally speaking a card of rest, of nesting, of nurturing, but when it's in its reverse, we can feel really restless. We can feel like we want to make these plans, we want to move forward, but we're just feeling still really stuck, like we can't do so. Now, that being said, remember, things that you plant, seeds that you plant, they take a while to show and to bloom and to have something that you can actually see. So right now, it's still that time to plant those seeds for your future prosperity, for your future abundance. Let's jump a couple more here. But this period of not knowing how to move forward, it's going to be changing. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and the Wheel of Fortune means that fate is changing. The times are changing. It also talks to the ephemeral nature of what's going on right now. What you're feeling, it's not going to last. There are good things coming in. Look, as you said it, I don't know if you can see this. I have goosebumps, which are my spirit yes sign. So good things are coming, even if you haven't seen them yet. The energy is set in motion. What you're doing now is what's calling in these good things. So keep aligning, even though it may seem dark, even though you don't know the way, even though you don't know how to get where you're going, it's still coming. So be aligning now in the moment. Try to have faith that it's going to work out, because it's going to. What do we have coming in the next month? All right, we have a couple of things here. Two of Wands reversed and the Nine of Cups reversed. Now, Two of Wands reversed indicates sometimes a lack of vision. Right now is a really good time that even if you don't see the scope, if you look at something like, hey, I know I want something different, but I don't know what, maybe your intention just needs to be some clarity on what might give you joy, what might give you happiness. Look towards the things that are in your life that already do give you happiness. And also know that you don't have to know every step of the way to get where you're going. You only have to know the next step. You only have to focus on the next thing. One foot in front of the other will get you there. Just keep heading to the best of your ability where you're going. And eventually you're going to find yourself somewhere. And along this path, there's going to be these things that come in. You're going to meet other people. New opportunities are going to show up, even if they're not there yet. But if you stay where you're at, you're not going to find those opportunities. You're not going to meet those people. So it's time to get moving. It's time to take one step. I don't care what it is. I want you to take one step towards the future, that in the closest approximation of direction that you can get. And I don't believe that there is a wrong way to go, because even if we go in a direction that ends up not being where we go, then we learn something along the way. And failure is a part of success. You learn by failing. You learn by doing things wrong. Don't be afraid to start. The next thing we have here is the Nine of Cups reversed. Now, the Nine of Cups talks about like happiness, wish fulfillment is what it represents. And maybe you feel like those wishes that you have haven't been fulfilled yet. And that's okay. Just knowing that you have them and knowing that you want them, that's communicating to the universe that you want them. It's putting yourself in a position to look for the opportunities that come in next that help get you there. But the caveat to this card is, especially in this one, which let me show you, is the cat that got the canary. This is someone who has everything that they want, and maybe they're not appreciating it. Maybe you have something that's going for you well right now. Really try to find some gratitude in that. Really try to lean into that, because there's so much that comes when you already have. That's where you can connect to the vibration of abundance. Maybe you don't have everything, but you have something right now to be grateful for. So list 3 things that you're grateful for every morning this month, and watch how much those multiply by the end of the month. Let's see. What are our challenges and our blockages? Anything else that we need to know? We're in this for the long haul. The goals, the ambitions, the dreams that you have, we have 10 of Pentacles. Now this talks about a couple of things, multi-generational wealth, but also long-term wealth. This is somebody who sits back at the end of a life well lived and goes, look what I did. So know that you're just in these beginning stages of manifesting the life of your dreams, and you can do it. But don't necessarily expect night and day difference every single step of the way. You know, you have to put in the work, you have to put in the time. But the 10 of Pentacles, you know, this is our long-term abundance. And that's what we're trying to find. We might have found short-term abundance. We might have gotten by to this point. We might have thrived to some degree and had something fall apart or fall away, because there's been a lot of that over the last few years. Can't say anybody has not been influenced by that. But with the 10 of Pentacles, make sure that you're building the foundations for long-term stability. This isn't a time to necessarily rush forward and make all these changes if you're not knowing where you're going, but make some change. If you're uncomfortable, if you're dissatisfied, there is a reason that your soul is calling for you to find better, and there is a path to better. Now, what does that path look like? What are the next steps that we can take between now and, well, now, take it now, you know, and we'll see by the full moon whether those steps were in the right direction or where we need to make adjustments in 2 weeks. So what can we do over the next 2 weeks to align? What do we need to take to move forward? Then we have the 10 of Cups. So 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. Your challenge is worrying about the money. But what you need to connect to is the feeling. It's the emotion. It's the thing. It's that happily ever after feeling. What makes you feel like, if I could have this, this is what I want to build? What does your happily ever after look like? Don't be afraid to dream about that. But also do watch out for having too narrow with that 2 of Wands reversed. Make sure that you're dreaming big enough that you're not selling yourself short, that you're not cutting yourself short, because there is a whole world. I'm going to show you this one too. There is a whole world out there that could be yours if only you can dream it. And so these wishes that you have, they are really destined to be fulfilled. There's a reason that you have them. There's a reason that you were born here and now. There's a reason that you were compelled to be driven from the place that you are. Maybe you've been stable and secure and you're feeling like you want to go away from that. You know, how you're feeling is a little bit different for everybody. If you want to dig into that on a more personal level, you can always reach out to me for a personal reading, and I'm here. But as far as what we're all dealing with, we've been manifesting and doing so much shadow work for the last 2 years that we've already done so much work. We've already manifested new things into our life that give us joy. And don't take for granted that which you have right now in the fear of losing it for the future. Because connecting to that abundance in the moment is what's going to keep that flowing in. It's like attracts like. You know, these things are going to come together over time, but you got to be patient with yourselves. You can't sell yourself short. Don't play it small. We're done playing it small. We're at a point where we're asking for raises. We're leaving situations that no longer serve us, and we're not looking back. And that's for the best. So don't be afraid to make these small changes. I also want to do just a little bit of a pick a card in here today to help, because I feel like there are a couple of different schools of energy going on. So I'm going to do 3 cards. I'm going to hold up each one, and whichever one resonates with you, you can go ahead and take that one as your personal message today. All right, we have 1, 2. Okay, I'm sorry, we have 4. We'll start there. Put these down. Oh, actually, we have a lot more than that. All right, we're just going to show each one, and this is going to be a specific message for each person. So don't be afraid to see what resonates. There actually may be a couple that are influencing you in several different areas of your life. All right, first off, we have the Tower reversed. Some of you, you know that there's something that's got to go. Like, you just know. That being said, if you consent to it and you say, I'm willing to make the change, I'm willing to take that leap of faith, know that you're going to come out the other side unscathed, that you're not going to have unnecessary pain. There may be some emotional processing of that, but don't feel afraid to make the leap. Let me see if you can see this. But don't feel afraid to make this change, because it's much needed. It's far overdue. And what comes on the other side, I promise you, is going to be better. I stake my reputation on it. It will be better. Next, we have some people who need to start having some boundaries. We have some people who need to hold their ground. You probably have some haters, some naysayers. This could be family, friends, people going, oh, you can't do that. It's like there's people nagging at you. You know what you're being called towards, but you're not. Their opinion doesn't matter. Your life matters. Your opinion, your intuition knows what the heck to do. Like, you don't need someone else to tell you what to do. You actually need to rise above that energy and realize that everybody's going to have an opinion. And sometimes that's their own small beliefs, their limiting self beliefs. And that's their way of possibly showing love. But know that all of the nagging and the undermining, maybe you're feeling like somebody's trying to undercut everything that you've done. This is a time to hold your ground. If you know this is right for you, or you know you have to do something, don't let somebody else walk all over on it. Next, we have the Lovers reversed. Some of you have some really unharmonious partnerships going on. These also feel overdue. All of this has very overdue energy. It's like, why are you carrying this forward? You've got a whole new year coming up. And if it's time to let it go, it's time to let it go. These are old wounds. You know, this is an old pattern. These are connections you've maybe had for a long time, and you've been trying to make it work because it really did. It was a good one. It felt good. Like, if this is a romantic connection, this was one that felt like the one. But it also can be like your other relationships too, like really close, intimate, personal relationships that were really harmonious at one point, and you want to go back to that. But it's not a time to look back anymore. It's a time to look forward. The past is in the past. We do not need to carry this forward with us anymore. And again, next card we have here, the Hanged Man, which is about not moving forward, feeling like you are externally restricted. And guess what you are? There's something you're waiting for, which is that Wheel of Fortune. I told you something was coming. Those of you who are feeling stuck, like you're not moving forward, quit resisting, quit trying to break out of your bonds. You're just going to tire yourself out. Right now is a time to observe, see things differently. There's something you need to see. And once you have that epiphany shift, or that mental shift, once you have that epiphany, you're going to, the world's going to open up. The opportunity is going to show up. I know you don't see it yet, but it's coming. It's on its way. But you have to stay at this crossroads so that you don't miss it. That person just hasn't caught up with you. That opportunity, they haven't come yet. But if you try to rush forward, you're going to miss it entirely. So stop, smell some roses, take a rest, do a little meditation, try to think outside the box. Don't be afraid of looking at things differently. Things are forming behind the scenes. There's other things working for you that you just don't see right now. And even though you feel restricted, it's for your highest good, and it's all going to work out in the end. 5 of Cups reversed. Some of you are just healing from some heartbreak that already happened right now. This is going to be like, you just need to give yourself space to grieve, to have that closure that you can give yourself. It doesn't come from other people. Healing and grief, it's not linear. And if you're feeling grief from old wounds, which a lot of us are right now with Chiron in play, just hold space it. You have to feel it to heal it. You can't just keep compartmentalizing. You can't keep shoving it down. It's not going to get you where you want to go. And if you heal your heart, you're going to open up your chapter for something that comes next. And what comes next will be better. Just be really gentle with yourself. Lots of self-love, lots of self-care. And allow that grief and that pain and that loss that you have, hold space for it. Give yourself the kind of love and self-support that you need. It doesn't have to come from other people. And if you're just sad right now, that's okay. You don't have to be happy all the time. But feeling that sadness, working through it, that's what's going to give you this healing and this strength of character that builds on your future. And the last one is we have the Knight of Pentacles. And this one is someone who is slow and steady wins the race. Consistent effort over time will reap bigger results. This isn't a time to rush forward. As much as the Aries energy wants you to, it wants you to take a step in the right direction, but it doesn't want you to rush forward. This is the Knight of Earth. And the Knight of Earth, he's grounded. He makes really methodical decisions. He thinks before he leaps. And, this is how we balance out the Aries energy, is we take inspired action, but we're not impulsive, because in our low vibe, Aries will just blow off and go do the thing and not really think about the consequences. And the time right now is to make sure that it checks out. Make sure it's in alignment, because you're setting this trajectory constantly. And I want you to be consistent with your efforts as you move forward, and know that these long efforts over time are going to get you where you want to go. And I hope all of this resonates with some of you. Again, if you need anything additional, I'm here. We have a few different events coming up this month as well, so please do stay tuned. I'll drop links to all of the events I'm participating in the comments below, or in the description box below. So if you want to buy tickets or anything like that, they will be there. And until next time, have a good day.